Sup guys, I'm an AUSSIE Metalhead, and I'm listening to 150 classic albums before the end of the year. All of Kendrick's discography is on that. I just listened to Good Kid, Mad City not too long ago, and it's my favorite rap album. I also listened to the Heart series alongside that, but it seems like TPAB doesn't have one. I looked it up. The Heart Part 3 came out before Good Kid, Mad City, and the Heart Part 4 comes out before Damn, so I'm assuming that there is none in relation to Pimp Butterfly. If there is, I'm sorry about that, just from like the cursory glances that I've seen. Doesn't seem to be the case. We were picking up from what we left off with Good Kid, Mad City, where it was him taking on the mantle of being the front runner of the West Coast, and how he stopped the cycle of violence that he was getting caught up in with his ego and everything, and how he was going to showcase the salvation for West Coast and for black kids like himself to get out of Compton like he's going to do and pave that way, sort of thing. And that is the context going into TPAB. So I'm very curious. It's obviously considered the best album of all time on every single rating site and every single critic site, basically. So very curious to jump into it, considering I love Good Kid, Mad City so much. Yeah. Sorry to pause it already. I know that this album, if I'm not mistaken, the jazz passages were made specifically for this album and not using samples for like other jazz rap, which is kind of cool. So, yeah.
Every nigga is a star. 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 Who will remind that you remind? Every nigga is a star.
Hit me!
When the four corners of this cocoon collide, you'll slip through the cracks, hoping that you'll survive. Gather your wit, take a deep look inside. Are you really who they idolize? To pimp a butterfly.
At first I did love you, but I just wanna fuck. Late nights thinking of you, until I got my nut. Toss and turn, lesson learned. You was my first girlfriend. Bridges burn all across the board. Destroy. But what for? When I get signed, homie, I'm acting fool. Hit the dance floor, strobe lights in the room. Snatch a little secretary bitch for the homies. Blue-eyed devil with a fat ass mouth. I'ma buy a brand new Cuddy on Vows. Truck the hood up 2 times, deuce flow. Platinum on everything, platinum on wedding ring. Married to the game and a bad bitch shows. When I get...
Alright, so far with coming off of Good Kid, Mad City and how he wanted to save the rap game and that sort of thing, and then I've never really thought about the title To Pimp Butterfly, but like to pimping out a butterfly, and then maybe like all of these young boys and these people that are going into the rap industry, they're like butterflies, and then the industry is pimping them out. That is something that I'm thinking of. And then because of what Good Kid, Mad City was about, and there seemed, if I remember correctly, like a thematic, like I'm assuming there's thematic through line with this. With To Pimp Butterfly, I'm assuming that we're like starting, we're like, oh, this is like their sort of like grooming sort of technique of like getting every single person, all of you as stars, hyping you up to this lifestyle of egoism, and then you are pimped out into the industry, and then you're kind of like reinforcing that cycle that he's opposed to when it comes to the industry, like how Drake brings in people just because he wears like the veneer of hip hop and that experience of like all the materialism and that sort of thing. I'm assuming that this is the start of like this is the start of that sort of storyline where it's like, look, I'm being propped up, you're my first girlfriend, I'm like hot as shit, I hit the dance floor, all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm assuming so far, but I could be wrong. But yeah.
Sign on me, I'ma buy a strap. Straight from the CIA, set it on my lap. Take a few M16s to the hood. Pass them all out on the block, what's good? I'ma put the cop to spot me by the White House. Republican run up, get socked out. Hit the press with a Cuban link on my neck. Uneducated, but I got $1 million check like that. We should never get
Yeah, and like touching on like the CIA giving guns into the on your lap, that sort of thing, where the it's not only like the culture, it's more so also like the country itself, because of the CIA infiltrating a lot of like 1960s, 1970s black rights groups and stuff like that, like infiltrating the Black Panthers, that sort of thing. And then also there was like introducing crack, cocaine, all that sort of stuff. So that helps perpetuating the cycle, and then giving um giving them the money, giving them all of that power and all of that like abusive cycle, but then realizing that like maybe there's a hint of hip hop is a radical art form, in the sense of it goes against the status quo in the 90s. It helped uplift a lot of these people that was disenfranchised, and then we're talking from the government's perspective that we shouldn't have given them money because it actually gives them some power, that sort of thing. Also, incorporating all of these aspects, like there feels like there's like 3 or 4 like thematic through lines coming into it like at the same time, and it's interweaving, which is so sick. And then also the instrumentation going on is so fucking dense and beautiful.
But what for?
Yo, what's up? It's Trey. Remember the first time you came out to the house? You said you wanted a spot like mine. But remember, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it, motherfucker.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. Say my name is Uncle Sam on your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I know you're kind, that's why I'm kind. Don't have receipts, oh man, that's fine. Pay me later, wear those gaiters. Cliche and say fuck your haters. I can see the bottle in you, I can see the dollar in you. Little white lies, but there's no white collar in you. But it's whatever though, because I'm still following you. Because you make me live forever, baby. Count it all together, baby. They hit the register and make me feel better, baby. Your horoscope is a Gemini, 2 sides. So you better cop everything 2 times. 2 coops, 2 chains, 2 C notes. Too much and enough, both we know. Christmas, tell them what's on your wish list. Get it all, you deserve it, Kendrick. And when you hit the White House, do you? But remember, you ain't passed economics in school. And everything you buy, Texas will deny. How Wesley sniped your ass before 35.
Looking down is quite a
Yeah, like I feel like I'm hopefully picking up on it with the track of like talking about how they have a very distinct lane that a black celebrity or person has to success, and that the culture and then like the White House, the country itself just forces you down this line, and then if you become too big or too powerful, will just assassinate you, like they did with a bunch of the 50s, 60s, 70s civil rights leaders.
looking good when you're on top. Better metaphors, leaving metaphors metaphysically in a state of euphoria. Look both ways before you cross my mind. We should never give, we should never give. Niggas, money go back home, money go back home. We should never give, we should never give. Niggas, money go back home, money go back home.
Also, if I'm saying a bunch of stuff, this is it's my first reaction, and I'm just trying to relay the fact that I am picking up what the album is putting down. Hopefully, if there's anything that I'm not getting correct, or you want to elucidate, then I'm happy to listen to it. This track is unbelievable. The amount of instrumentation, his delivery, it is just crazy. Like Kendrick, for me, after listening to Good Kid, Mad City, I was 100% for the best rap album that I've heard so far. Obviously this one could beat it, and just has such like a superstar level power, like superstar level creativity. It's actually insane.
a hoe ass nigga. I don't know why you trying to go big, nigga. You ain't shit. Walking around like you God's gift to earth. Nigga, you ain't shit. You ain't even buy me no outfit for the 4th. I need that Brazilian wavy 28-inch. You playing. I shouldn't be fucking with you anyway. I need a baller ass, boss ass nigga. You's an off-brand ass nigga. Everybody know it. Your homies know it. Everybody fucking know. Fuck you, nigga. Don't call me no more. You don't know. You gon' lose on a good bitch. My other nigga is on. You off. What the fuck is really going on?
This dick ain't free. You looking at me like it ain't a receipt, like I never made ends meet, eating your leftovers and raw meat. This dick ain't free. Living in captivity, raised my cap salary, celery, telling me green is all I need. Evidently all I seen was spam and raw sardines. This dick ain't free. I mean, baby, you really think we could make a baby name Mercedes without a Mercedes Benz and 24-inch rims, 5% tint and air conditioning vents? Hell fucking no. This dick ain't free. I need 40 acres and a mule, not a 40 ounce in a pit bull. Bullshit. Matador, had a door knocking, let him in. Who's that? Genito's best friend. This dick ain't free. Pity the food that made the pretty and you prosper. Titty juice and pussy lips kept me obnoxious, kept me up watching pornos and poverty. Apology, no. Watch you politic with people that's fortunate like myself. Every dog has his day. Now doggy style shall help. This dick ain't free. Matter of fact, I need interest. Matter of fact, it's 9 inches. Matter of fact, see your friendship based on business. Pinching, more pinching, your bitch, my consensus. Been relentless. Fuck forgiveness, fuck your feelings, fuck your sources. All distortion. If we fuck, it's more abortion, more divorce, course and portion. My check with less endorsement left me dormant, dusted, doomed, disgusted, force weight. Fuck you, fingers and more shit. Porcelain pipes, pressure, bust them twice. Choices devastated, decapitated the horseman. Oh, America, you bad bitch. I picked cotton and made you rich. Now my dick ain't free.
I'ma get my Uncle Sam to fuck you up. You ain't.
This is it's an interlude, but like, holy fuck, this is so important. Like, I feel like often interludes are just like a different flow, like giving you like a breath of fresh air or whatever. But like, I love the chaotic factor of the jazz. Just, I haven't listened to a lot of jazz, so I don't know the technical terms for it. But like, it crescendoing and then like getting all like ruckus and then just bouncing together. Like, the chaos in it is so sick, while just fully laying out the like the system, like the themes and the systems that they were talking about in the previous song, and how it is like the pigeonholing and all of that. It's like, this is really sick.
Okay.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. True friends, one question. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams. What's the yams? The yam is the power that be. You can smell it when I'm walking down the street.
Oh yes we can, oh yes we can.
I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghost rider. What the fuck happened?
Oh no.
I swore I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all sharing bars like you got to buy the bunk in a 2-man sale.
A 2-man sale.
Something's in the water.
Something's in the water.
And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking bum. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams.
What's the yams?
The yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. 24/7, 365 days times 2. I was contemplating getting on stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemy and say, oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah.
mouth, mammy, fuck.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This shit is elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Stuck a flag in my city, everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run from here when I'm done, to be honest. And I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court, better whoa whoa. Oh yeah, fuck the judge, I made it past 25, and now I was a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina, screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom, Mr. Belly of the beast. From a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was...
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah? Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
This is some of the like most unique instrumentals that I've ever heard on a fucking rap song. Like, I love it. The guitars, I don't even know what fucking type of instrument don't have a lot of knowledge in it, but just like the type of flows and like the beats and how is so unique that I've never heard before. It is unreal, and then him being able to rap on it like perfectly, it is truly amazing. And then it's so fucking groovy. It is so like and it reminds me of the criticism that I've touched on in Good Kid, Mad City, where like I was like, this, it's just kind of crazy because there's like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, swimming pools, money trees, that sort of thing. Where like Kendrick seemed to have in like the public domain, from what I know from an outsider, is people say that he just didn't make bangers. Like he's made art projects, but he didn't make bangers, and that's why he made G-Next, that sort of thing. And it just kind of doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, King Kunta, how don't you just get fucking amped up by this beat, dude? Like, I don't understand it, because this song I could easily listen to a shit ton. Like,
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence.
Alright, I didn't catch on a lot of the lyrics of the last track and like what it was saying, but my general vibe coming into this, listening to like seeing that the track is named Institutionalized, is like a black man walking there, we're not going to take any losses, having all of this like bravado, and then institutionalized is the system clamping down on you for having like exuding that sort of confidence. That is my read of it, because I didn't pick up on a shit ton in the last song. Hope if I miss anything, just tell me.
What money got to do with it? When I don't know the full definition of a rap image. I'm trapped inside the ghetto and I ain't proud to admit it. Institutionalized, I keep running back for a visit. Hold up. Get it back. I said I'm trapped inside the ghetto and I ain't proud to admit it. Institutionalized, I can still kill me a nigga, so what?
If I was the president, I'd pay my mom with rent, free my homies and them, bulletproof my Chevy doors, lay in the White House and get high, Lord. Whoever thought, Massa, take the chains off me.
Life to me like a box of chocolate, quid pro quo, something for something, that's the obvious. Oh shit, flow so sick, don't you swallow it, biting my style, your salmonella poison positive. I can just alleviate the rap industry politics, milk the game up, never lactose, intolerant. ignorant, the last remainder of real shit. You know the obvious. Me, scholarship, no. Streets put me through colleges. Be all you can be. True, but the problem is a dream, only a dream. If work, don't follow it. Remind me of the homies that used to know me. Now follow this. I tell you my hypothesis. I'm probably just way too loyal. K-Dizzle would do it for you. My niggas think I'm a god. Truthfully, all of them spoil you. Usually you're never charged. But something came over you once I took you to them fucking BET Awards. You looking at artists like they're harvests. So many rollies around you and you want all of them. Somebody told me you thinking about snatching jury. I should've listened what my grandmama said to me.
Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass. Boy, shit don't change till you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Oh, now, slow down.
Once upon a time in a city so divine called West Side Compton, there stood a little nigga, he was 5 foot something. God bless the kid, took his homie to the show and this is what they said.
What am I supposed to do when I'm looking at walking licks? The constant big money talk about the mention and foreign whips. The private jets and passport, presidential glass for gold bottles, gold models, giving up the ass for Instagram flick, sucking dick. Fuck is this? One more sucker waving with a fleshy wrist. My defense mechanism tell me to get him quickly because he got it. It's a recession, then why the fuck he ain't king of diamonds? No more living, boy, meet my 4-4. When I see him with the bird diem on the floor, now Kendrick know they your co-workers, but this gon' take a lot for this pistol go cold turkey. Now I can watch on the TV and be okay, but see I'm on the clock once that watch landing in LA. Remember still from the rich and giving it back to the poor. Well, that's me at these awards. I guess my grandmama was warning the boy. She said,
Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Shit don't change until you get up and wash your ass. Boy, shit don't change till you get up and wash your ass, nigga. Oh, now, slow down.
Once upon a time in a city so divine called West Side Compton, there stood a little nigga, he was 5 foot something. Dazed and confused, talented but still under the neighborhood rules. You could take your boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood off the homie. Took his show money, stashed it in the mosey wosey. Hollywood's nervous, fuck you, good night, thank you much for your service.
I think it's touching on some, like, listening to it, I would need to listen to the next tracks to give me more context around it, but I think my understanding of it from what I said beforehand still fits a bit of, like, Institutionalized, where we went from King Kunta, where it's like, I can't take any L's sort of thing, and then Institutionalized, you have all of these, like, the institution, like, pressing you into this box, and then he's talking about, like, all of the things around him, where it's like kind of, I guess, noticizing the institutionalization of the people around him when he is becoming the star that he is. That is my understanding of it. And it goes without saying, the jazz pieces in the back, his rap performances, I feel he has some of, like, the most unique flows that I've ever listened to. Now, I haven't listened to someone like Tribe Called Quest or anything like that, which this is jazz rap, so I'm assuming there is a lot of influence from that, so I will need to go back to listen to that. But yeah, it's flawless. And I can kind of also see how my understanding of, like, Kendrick is he had the Good Kid, Mad City want to take the generation on his back out of Compton, into this where he's making another, like, piece about this sort of black experience and struggle. And how in Damn, I haven't listened to it, I don't know what it's about, but knowing Damn is, like, his biggest commercial success, it's kind of like the GNX before GNX, where he was doing a lot, like, tracks like Humble, that sort of thing, that got massive, and then how he took a break, and he was like, I was just doing shit for my ego. I could see how, like, so far, I don't necessarily see it in this album, but I could see how, like, in Damn, like, this towards Damn, how he would end up having that opinion in Mr. Morale that, like, he was doing it just for his ego, and that he went to therapy and he needs to recontextualize himself and how to, like, help the generation. and seeing all of the ego involved when it comes to him wanting to put everyone on his shoulders. That's my understanding of Mr. Morale. I haven't heard anything from it apart from like maybe when it first came out, like a bit of Auntie Diaries because it had some controversy, but I don't remember the like lyrics or anything like that. I just know vaguely what it's about. But yeah, I can kind of see how that evolution can come from this, because this is very down to earth, well grassroots sort of stuff. And Damn, I can see being like the big commercial success. So it's like, oh, I could see how you would have a personal gripe between those two.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same.
Sex. She just wanna close her eyes and sweat. With you. Exercise her right to work it out. It's true. Shout out to the birthday girl, say hey. Say hey. Everyone deserves a night to play. She plays only when you're telling her if these walls could talk.
I can feel your rain when it cries. Gold lives inside of you. I love it when I'm in it. I love it when I'm in it.
The wall can talk, they tell me to swim good. No boat, I float better than he would. No light jacket, I'm not the God of Nazareth. But your flood can be misunderstood. Wall telling me they full of pain, resentment. Need someone to live in them just to relieve tension. Me, I'm just a tenant. Landlord said the wall vacant more than a minute. The wall are vulnerable. Exclamation, interior pink, color coordinated. I interrogated every nook and cranny. I mean, it's still amazing. Before they couldn't stand me. These walls wanna cry tears. These walls happier when I'm here. These walls never can hold up. Every time I come around, demolition might.
These walls can talk. I can feel your rain when it cries. Gold lives inside of you. These walls can talk. I love it when I'm in it. I love it when I'm in it.
The wall can talk, they tell me to go deep. Yelling at me continuously, I can see your defense mechanism is my decision. Knock these walls down, that's my religion. Wall feeling like they ready to close.
Okay, I was struggling to pick up the themes of what the song was about, but it's like I'm assuming the walls that within the, like, let's say the house of the black experience of what it means to be successful as a black American, the walls are what you're confined to, and then he wants to just knock that shit down. That is my understanding of it. Also, this is such a funky like, this is the beats, just the beats, and they're so good. They're just so good. Yeah.
I suffocate, then catch my second wind. I resonate in these walls. I don't know how long I can wait in these walls. I've been on.
I didn't know, this is just my lack of experience and ignorance. I didn't know that jazz rap could be this fucking funky. Like which makes no sense, right? But like, my understanding of jazz rap is there is some elements of how, like, I don't know, not rhythm, like you can bounce to it, like head bopping. There's some elements of that in like Pete Rock's CL Smooth's The Main Ingredient and Mecca and the Soul Brother. There is some of that to that, but most of my for whatever reason, my feeling of jazz rap is very smooth sort of stuff where it's like flowy, where this is like, you can rock to this, like, and I haven't experienced much jazz rap with this sort of elements to it, which is so cool to listen to. Yeah.
Streets too long. Looking at you from the outside in, they sing the same old song about how they was always the cleanest. I beg to differ, I must have missed them. I'm not involved, I'd rather diss them. I'd rather call on you, put your wall up, cause when I come around, demolition go.
This is very chronic sort of beats. I love that. It feels like a much more refreshed version of like a Dr. Dre's Chronic or Doggy Style level beats. I love it.
If your walls can talk, they tell you it's too late. Your destiny accepted, your fate. Build accessories and stash them on the yard. Take the recipe, the Bible and God. Wall telling you that commissary is low. Race wars happening, no calling CO. No calling your mother to save you. Homies to say you're reputable, not acceptable. Your behavior sent me the board like a killer that turned snitch. Walls is telling me you're a bitch. You pray for pills, hoping the warden would afford them.
That sentence so important.
Walls telling you to listen and sing about me. Retaliation is strong, you even dream about me. Kill my homeboy and God spared your life. Dumb criminal got indicted same night. So when you play the song, rewind the first verse. About me abusing my power so you can hurt. About me and her in the shower whenever she horny. About me and her in the after hours of the morning. About her baby daddy currently serving life. And how she think about you until we meet up at night. About the only girl cared about you when you asked her. And how she fucking on a famous rapper.
Walls can talk.
That verse was actually fucking unreal. I think I would need to listen to it so many more times to fully like metastasize in it, but yeah. There is so much like wisdom in that fucking verse.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated.
Not I don't know why, but I just wanted to say that scream sounded so Blood in the Leaves to me. That was sick.
Loving you is complicated. 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 I place blame on you still, place shame on you still. Feel like you ain't shit, feel like you don't feel confidence in yourself. Breaking no marble floors, watching anonymous strangers telling me that I'm yours. But you ain't shit, I'm confidential, tolerance, nothing special. What can I blame you for? Nigga, I can name several. Situation I start with your little sister baking. A baby aside, just a teenager, where your patience? What was your antennas? What was the influence you speak of? You preached in front of 100,000 but never reached her. I fucking tell you, fucking failure, you ain't no leader. I never liked you, forever despised you. I don't need you, the world don't need you, don't let them deceive you. Numbers lie too, fuck your pride too, that's what dedication. Thought money would change you, made you more complacent. Fucking hate you, I hope you embrace it. I swear.
Alright, I'm not necessarily sure who's the narrator here, right? So with this, it could have been like an internal monologue of like, you've spoken to so many people, but you can save the people that is the most important to you. And that could be just like your internal monologue, or it could be like there could be another aspect where it's like, I don't know if it's related to these walls, where the walls are talking back to you, or if it's God talking to you. So I don't know if this is God talking to him, which is reminiscent to like you're in a monologue talking to you about this failure, or perceived failure, or if it is these walls, which is the constructions of society. So it's like the like culture within it, like the oppressive culture talking within you, making you pit holes in failures in your life to like demoralize you on your quest to make things better, if that makes sense. Like you've done all these good things. You're talking to 100,000 people, but see, look at this one failure that you did, and like trying to get to you that way. Don't know if it's something like the walls are talking to you, or if it's God talking to you, or it's an internal monologue. But either way, there is a lot of like with whatever road this takes down, it's very interesting to me.
Loving you is complicated. 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 Loving you, not loving you. 100 proof.
I can feel your vibe and recognize that you're ashamed of me. Yes, I hate you too.
The production here is insane. I'm going to lean more towards because the track dials you, it's an internal monologue. This might be the best production work I've ever seen, like heard in my fucking ears. Like the way that it's,
You the reason why mama and them leaving. No, you ain't shit. You say you love them. I know you don't mean it. I know you irresponsible, selfish, you deny you can't help it. Your trials and tribulations are burden. Everyone felt it. Everyone heard it. Multiple shots, corners crying out. You were deserted. Where was your antennas again? Where was your presence? Where was your support that you pretend? You ain't no brother. You ain't no disciple. You ain't no friend. A friend never leave Compton for profit or leave his best friend, little brother. You promised you watch him before they shot him. Where was your antennas? On the road, bottles and benches. You FaceTime the one time. That's unforgiving. You even FaceTime instead of a hospital visit. Guess you thought he'd recover well. Third surgery, they couldn't stop the bleeding for real. Then he died, God himself, and said you fucking failed. You ain't tried. Secrets, nigga. Mood swings is frequent, nigga. I know depression is resting on your heart for 2 reasons, nigga. I know you and a couple black boys ain't been speaking, nigga. Y'all damn near beefing, I see it, and you're the reason, nigga. And if this bottle could talk, I cry myself to sleep, bitch. Everything is your fault. Falls breaking to pieces. Earthquakes on every weekend. Because you shook as soon as you knew confinement was needed. I know your secrets. Don't let me tell them to the world about that shit you thinking. And then time to you out the Earl. I'm fucked up, but I ain't as fucked up as you. You just can't get right. I think your heart made a bulletproof. Should killed your ass long time ago. You should have filled that black revolver blast long time ago. And if this marriage could talk, it'll say you gotta go. And if I told your secrets, the world will know money can't stop a suicidal weakness.
Jesus fuck. This feels very vain to say, but this is probably my favorite track that Kendrick's done because how personal it is. Feels vain. Just be like, oh, this is the best song, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think I've experienced something like that in a rap song. Like the only thing I could think of is maybe Suicidal Thoughts by with Biggie, like this level of self-critique and bearing your fucking deepest parts of your soul on the guilt and ravishment that you have within yourself. Like, yeah, like it feels weird because, but in the, I think just out of the spirit of him having to be vulnerable, I feel like I shouldn't put aside some of the vulnerability stuff that I don't want to express because it's public or whatever. But he did so much more. So it's like during that entire thing, I don't know if you noticed, but like I was rather tearing up. And this could like he could have easily like broken the damn wall sort of shit for me. This is this is an insanely powerful track, and I don't feel like it gets spoken about enough. And then I vaguely know the next song, All Right. Don't know necessarily what it is about. All I know is that it was used for the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, but it kind of makes sense that after he goes down to this like that the suicidal aspects to it, the crushing yourself and then picking yourself back up with "It's Gonna Be Alright." That's my understanding, but I could obviously the lyrics could change or what. That track. Yeah, it's the best one.
All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
Wait, alright, so this is just a slight tangent. Kendrick Lamar is the biggest rapper on the planet now, right? I guess there's like the sort of people that could only listen to Humble and like maybe some Money Trees or whatever, and not listen to the full albums. Maybe they don't even fuck with Tip and Butterfly or Good Kid, Mad City that much. But something that shocks me, right, is that we're currently living in a world that is heading towards fascism a lot more. Like if you're in America, you already have fascism. Luckily in Australia, we just landslide victory won on the left, so that's good. But in America, like you have the majority of that country that voted for Trump. And it just, I don't square how, like, because there has to be a decent amount of overlap with Kendrick Lamar being the biggest rapper and those people listening to Kendrick Lamar. And I don't know how you deal with the cognitive dissonance. It's like Kendrick Lamar isn't vaguely saying his political beliefs. All of his music is like putting it on full display in the most like honest manner in the planet. And that dissonance, I know it's something that a lot of black creators struggle with, where it's like the dissonance that you have a bunch of white people that listen to you, myself included. Granted, I'm not a Trump supporter or anything like that, but like, and how the majority of your listens will come from people that haven't experienced the black experience, but then also on top of that, don't even believe in your politics or your experience is even valid, sort of thing, but they're listening to your music that is expressing all of that. And I just don't understand that level of cognitive dissonance. I don't know how that happens, especially with someone like Kendrick Lamar, because if you listen to, I don't know, maybe a Biggie, or more so Biggie because he has just bangers. Nas, I've only listened to Illmatic. I don't know, maybe you could listen to Nas and not have the politics that it was within that. Even the Chronic, I don't even know, but like Kendrick, 100%. I have no idea how you listen to this and you don't just have like at least a 80 to 90% overlap with his politics, because I guess maybe you're just listening to his beats and his like the sick jazz instrumentation and stuff like that. It bewilders me that Kendrick is the biggest, which makes sense. He deserves it. But then a lot of his fans would have to be diametrically opposed to him, like a lot. And it's not like he coddles them at all. So, yeah. I don't know what... It's a bit of a tangent, but it just shocks me.
Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. One Mac 11, even boom with the bass down. Skimming, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. With pretty pussy and Benjamin is the highlight. I tell my mama I love her, but this what I like. Lord knows, 20 of them in my Chevy. Tell them all to come and get me, reaping everything I sow. So my karma come in heaven, no preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster, and silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my face this all day.
Alright, so he went to so this actually changed my understanding of it. It's like we're gonna be alright, but it's kind of like a faux we're gonna be alright, because you got into you where it's like you're literally down and out, and this sort of thing is like putting on the mask, drowning in your vices, doing that sort of thing to get yourself out, to say that you're going to be alright, but then you're also not going to be alright because you're betraying the principles that you held dear, that you were trying to emulate, you know? That's my understanding of it.
When you know we've been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate po-po when the killer's dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it. I know it's illegal. I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner, put the candy painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket, in a profit big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. I don't talk about it, be about it. Every day I sequel. If I got it, then you know you got it. Heaven, I can reach you. Pet dog, my dog, that's all. Pick back and chat, I trap the back for y'all. I rap, I black on tracks, so rest assured. My rights, my wrongs, I right till I'm right with God. When you know, we been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate poor, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
I keep my head up high, I cross my heart and hope to die. Loving me is complicated, too afraid of life changes. I'm alright in your favor, dark nights in my prayers.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers.
Even like tiny things like that winding up crack thing, the production is actually fucked, like fucked in a good way. Like just even that sounds so perfect and unique and lovely, and it's just a winding up crack thing. I don't know.
What's wrong, nigga? I thought you was keeping it gangsta. I thought this what you wanted. They say if you scared, go to church. But remember, he knows the Bible too.
Now baby, when I get you, I'ma go hit the fire with you. Smoking, looking, poking the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Now baby, when I'm riding, yeah, I'm riding dirty. Registration inside of service. Smoking, looking, drinking that potion. You can see me swerving. Cause I want you. I want you more than you know. I remember you took me to a mall last week, baby. You looked me in my eyes about 4 or 5 times till I was hypnotized, then you clarified that I want you. You said Shireen ain't got nothing on Lucy. I said, you crazy? Rose are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing up daisies if I. Now baby, when I get you, I'ma go hit the throttle with you. Smoking, looking, poking that danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. You said to me, you said your name was Lucy. Lucy, I said, where's Ricardo? You said, oh no, not the show. Then you spit a little rap to me like this when I turned 26. I was like, oh shit. You said to me, I remember what you said too. You said, my name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me, Kendrick. Usually I don't do this, but I see you and me, Kendrick. Lucy give you no worries. Lucy got million stories about these rappers that I came after when they was boring. Lucy go fill your pockets. Lucy go move your mama out of Compton inside the gigantic mansion like I promised. Lucy just wants your trust and loyalty. Avoiding me, it's not so easy. I'm at these functions accordingly, Kendrick. Lucy don't slack a minute. Lucy work harder. Lucy gon' call you even when Lucy know you love your father. I'm Lucy. I loosely heard prayers on your first album, truly. Lucy don't mind, cause at the end of the day you'll pursue me. Lucy go get it. Lucy not timid. Lucy up front. Lucy got paperwork on top of paperwork. I want you to know that Lucy got you all your life. I watched you, and now you all grown up to sign this contract if that's possible. Get you. I'ma go hit the throttle with you. Smoking, looking, broken, the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Now baby, when I'm riding, yeah, I'm riding dirty. Registration inside of service. Smoking, looking, drinking, that potion, you can see me swerving. Cause I want you.
This is such a stunning fucking jazz piece. Like, such a stunning jazz piece. I've only heard it a tiny bit of jazz. I've listened to a more or so by Gilberto. Don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Joao Gilberto. Very good, very stunning piece. And I've listened to the jazz passages that is on Seal Smith and Pete Rock stuff, but not a lot of jazz. Nearly every single time. Maybe it's just due to the fact that I've listened to just some of the best. But when I listen to it, it's just so stunning. And then even this stands out from that. It's just crazy.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room.
I really love the motif of just playing this at the end of it.
Didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home.
Oh shit! I need that. I need that sloppy.
I'm sorry to pause it, but I usually do this with a lot of stuff, but this feels weirder to do it with. But I need to know who produced it. It doesn't say. That is so sad. But I need to know who produced this album. It is the most immaculately produced album that I've listened to. Maybe, I think actually might be even just better than Mad Villainy. Mad Villainy is like what I think is the best produced.
Like a Chevy in quicksand. Yeah. That's sloppy.
This feeling is unmatched. This feeling is brought to you by adrenaline and good rap. Black Pendleton, bar cap. We don't share the same synonym, far back. Been in it before internet had new acts. Mimicking radio's nemesis made me whack. My innocence limited, the experience lacked. 10 of us with no tentative tactic that cracked. The mind of a literate writer, but I did it in fact. You admitted it once I submitted it, wrapped in plastic. Remember scribbling, scratching, diligent sentences backwards, visiting freestyle ciphers for your reaction. Now I can live in this stadium, pack it the fastest. Gambling Benjamin benefit, sending in traffic, spinning women in cartwheels, linen fabric on fashion, winning in every decision. Kendrick is master that mastered it, isn't it?
It is crazy because, like, even if you just took the storytelling aspects and like how he was able to storyboard out his good capacity in this, right? and the production and everything like that. You don't even need to be a Kendrick level lyricist for it to be like an insanely immaculate project, right? You don't need that to be the case. You could just be a decent writer, and then like your rapping ability doesn't even need to be that high to be able to make some of the best albums. But Kendrick, on top of that, not only does have some of the best penmanship, not only has some of the best production ever, he also is probably the best rapper I've ever heard. It's like in my head, it's like 1A, 1B is like MF Doom or Kendrick, and it's kind of hard because I would like to lean towards Kendrick because his lyrics are more substantive. But that's about it. It feels like splitting heads because yeah, it's just insane that he has all of those qualities just wrapped into one. And then also like the charisma, his flows are insane, like all his rapping abilities, but like even like the presence that he has on a mic, you could hear it in Section 80, you could hear it in my review, my reaction to Section 80. It's like, oh, it's so obvious that this person could be a goat, even just from Section 80. It's like, oh, yeah, he could easily become one of the best rappers. He just has that charisma and like aura to use. Yeah.
Lovely how menaces turn attraction, pivoting rappers finishing fraction while writing blue magic. Thank God for rap. I would say it got me a plaque, but what's better than that? The fact it brought me back home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I know everything. I know everything, know myself, I know morality, spirituality, good and bad health. I know fatality, my hauncher. I know everything, I know Compton, I know street shit, I know shit that's conscious. I know everything, I know lawyers, advertisement and sponsors. I know wisdom, I know bad religion, I know good karma. I know everything, I know history. I know the universe works mentally. I know the perks of bullshit, is it meant for me? I know everything. I know cars, clothes, hoes, and money. I know loyalty, I know respect, I know those that's unreal. I know everything, the highs, the lows, the groupies, the junkies. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. The way I'm rewarded, well, that's God's decision.
That's so interesting that this track is touching on all of this sort of stuff. I'm wondering where it goes because he had it's like somewhat similar to Good Kid, Mad City, where it's like I went through this traumatic experience and then I want to save this generation, and I'm seeing if that's where it goes on this, where it's like I became the biggest star, and then I experienced a bunch of this hardship as well, in a different way, and then it's even my past traumas are haunting me, and then I am now it was able to bring me home with new lessons and new lessons and wisdom to be able to do. And I'm wondering where the rest of this story goes. And then also on top of that, touching on the lyrics here, where it's like, I don't need recognition, that sort of thing. I can see how in future it feels like there's criticism towards Kendrick because he is clear, and he even had it for himself in Mr. Morale, right? I haven't listened to it, but it's my understanding of it. Where he criticizes himself for following the ego, where he's like following needing to be rewarded, to the point where he got a Pulitzer, which, if I'm being honest, haven't heard Damn. Maybe I'll be surprised by Damn, and it's actually better than these two albums. It just kind of feels weird that Damn got the Pulitzer instead of like this or Good Kid, Mad City, because to my understanding, like Pulitzer is basically like for whatever high art is, and though these albums I would assume are better than Damn, or they're at least more grounded or whatever. And I wonder if a part of him, I don't know Mr. Morale, but I wonder if he criticizes himself because the way that he got his Pulitzer was maybe doing some compromises on his beliefs of like, these albums are so clearly rooted in the Black experience and that's the focus. With Damn, I don't know about it, but like maybe Damn is like broadening it to the point of being more palatable to like a white, like a, I can't think of the word, but like a white-centric society, and that's the reason why he got the Pulitzer. And then he's criticizing himself for that. I don't know if that's a part of it. I haven't listened to those two albums, but I could see how like even something like this. I know if I'm generous, I don't need recognition. Well, he actually is striving for a lot of recognition lately, and that's not necessarily wrong. He could be evolving, and I'm curious to listen throughout his albums how he evolves and how he gets to a place like that. Because there is a way that you could do it to not be hypocritical, but very much in these albums, it feels like a tiny bit of a different version of Kendrick than he is now, if that makes sense. Like the type of Kendrick that would make this massive public feud with Drake, not in the way that he not for the reasons that he did it, but the way that he did it, and dropping like a GNX and stuff like that to try and get the Pulitzer to instantly have it the crown. All of that can have reasons and justifications behind it, but it plays against the whole I don't need recognition part. But yeah, it's also like I'm assuming a push and pull that is going to be laced throughout all of his works, because you're never going to perfectly walking that tightrope. You're always going to have those two pushes, and especially he's laid it out in his, even in these albums, that there's always those two push and pulls.
I know you know the lines for Compton School District. Just give it to the kids, don't gossip about how it's distributed. I know how people work. I know the price of life, I'm knowing how much it's worth. I know what I know, and I know it well not to ever forget. Until I realized I didn't know shit the day I came home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I met a little boy that resembled my features. Nappy afro, gap in the smile, hand-me-down sneakers bounce through the crowd. Running number home men and women that crossed him. Sunbeaming on his BDBs, exhausted. Tossing footballs with his ashy black ankles. Breaking new laws, mama passed on home training. He looked at me and said, Kendrick, you do know my language. You just forgot because of what public schools have painted. Oh, I forgot, don't kill my vibe, that's right, you're famous. I used to watch on Channel 5, TV was taken. But never mind, you're here right now, don't you mistake it, it's just a new trip. Take a glimpse of your family ancestor, make a new list of everything you thought was progress, and that was bullshit. I know your life is full of turmoil, you're spoiled by fantasies of who you are. I feel bad for you, I can attempt to enlighten you without frightening you. If you resist, I back off quick, go catch a flight or two. But if you pick destiny over rest in peace, then be an advocate. Tell your homies especially to come back home.
This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I've been looking for you my whole life, and never die for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something, got me losing my mind. You make me wanna jump, jump, jump. Let's talk about jump, jump, jump. Let's talk about jump, jump, jump. Let's talk about jump, jump, jump. Let's talk about. I've been looking for you my whole life, and never die for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something, dick, I'm losing my mind. I say where you at, from the front to the back. I'm looking for you, I react only when you react. I thought I found you back in the ghetto when I was 17 with the 30th best show. Maybe you in a dollar bill, maybe you're not real, maybe only the wealthy get to know how you feel. Maybe you're paranoid, maybe I don't need you anyway. Don't lie to me, I'm suicidal when it be. I can be your advocate, I can preach for you if you tell me what the matter.
I've really this album could go in so many interesting directions, and I'm knowing Good Kid, Mad City. I also thought that when I was listening through it, and no matter what it is, I'm probably going to be incredibly entertained. But like, I love all of like the groundwork that they're laying for the rest of the album.
Okay, that. Pick up the phone, nigga. Every time I call, it's going to voicemail. Don't tell me they got you on some weirdo rap shit, nigga.
He's very much touching on the fact of like with Momma at the end of it, and on this of like the perception of turning back on your community, and I'm wondering how he's able to reconcile that within this album. Yeah.
No socks and skinny jeans and shit. Call me on Shanika's phone.
I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. I don't give a fuck about no politics and rap, my nigga. Our little homies done a deuce, ain't never coming back, my nigga. So you better go hard every time you jump on wax, my nigga. Fuck what they talk about, your shit is where it's at, my nigga. Came in this game, you stuck your fangs in this game. You want no chain in this game, your hood, your name in this game. Now you double up, time to bubble up the bread and huddle up. Stick it to the spritz, now if them Benjamins go cuddle up. Skip, hop, drip, drop, flip, flop with the white tube sock. It go. That's what the products smell like when the chemicals mix. 50 niggas salute out the Compton Zoo with the extras. Elcos, Monte Carlos, Roll Kings and dressers. Rip Riders, P-Funkers, Mexicans, they fuck with you. Asians, they fuck with you. Nobody can fuck with you. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Lil' ho, you went to school with. Boo boo, baby mama and your new bitch. Boo boo, we was in the hood. 14 with the deuce deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. Hopped out the caddy, just got my dick sucked. The little homies called and said the enemies that clicked up. Oh yeah, Puto wanna squabble with me, Barrio. Oh yeah, tell them they can run it for the cardio. Oh yeah, everything is scandalous. Slow motion for the ambulance. The project filled with cameras. The LAPD gambling, scrambling. Football numbers slandering. Niggas' names on paper, you snitched all summer. Streets don't fail me now. They tell me it's a new gang in town. From Compton to Congress. Set tripping all around. Ain't nothing new but a fluid new Democrats and red blood against red state versus a blue state. Which one you governing? They give us guns and drugs, call us thugs, making they promise to fuck with you. No condom, they fuck with you. Obama say what it do.
Obama say what it do. Obama say what it do.
I've been
I'm conflicted on this track so far because we had the aspects that I was talking about before, where it's like you went from this was he went into it being touring him apart, then he goes into All Right, having this mask of then being played into with his vices, and then you have into Momma, where then it's like the people being like you're forgetting basically who you are and the principles that you have because you've been delving into these vices. You're not even listening to the people back home that you say and you were purporting to be saving in Good Mad City in this album. Now, you're going into this, what are you saying? And in whole politics, it's like kind of like, it feels like he's able to, it feels like he's able to metastasize the criticisms that he has, but then his response here isn't actually that great. It's basically talking roughly about like, oh yeah, I have experienced all of this sort of stuff, then talking about how, like, basically treading the same waters of Wesley's theory and King Kunta, and he's not really responding to it yet. It feels like and I'm waiting to see that because he's just re-saying that he's like understands the struggle in a way, if that makes sense.
Once since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. Everybody wanna talk about who this and who that, who the realest and who whack, or who white and who black. Critics wanna mention that they missed when hip-hop was rapping. Motherfucker, if you did, then Killer Mike could be platinum. Y'all priorities fucked up, put energy in wrong shit. Hennessy and Crown Vic, my memory been gone since. No ask about no camera blocking at award shows. No ask about my bitch, no ask about my foes. Unless you asking me about power, yeah, I got a lot of it. I'm the only nigga next to Snoop that can push the button. Had the coast on standby. Kid out, what up? I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed in my land by a landslide. Nah, homie, we too sensitive. It spill out to the streets. I make the call and get the coast involved. The history repeat. But I resolved inside that private heart while sitting down with Jay. He said it's funny how one verse can fuck up the game. I've been A1 since day one. You niggas boo boo.
All right, so I like this verse more. Like it kind of is responding to it a bit more. You have to sort of read between the lines a bit, I would say. But it's just like everyone will talk about who this and who that, who the realist and who whack or who white, who black. And I can understand that, like, where he's kind of like, it feels like it's like, oh, even the criticisms towards me, that sort of thing, is it valid? We're talking too much about that when we should be talking about power. I can understand that. And then with critics wanting to mention when they missed when hip hop was rapping, this is very true, motherfucker. If you did, then Killer Mike would be platinum. That's very true. Think about it. Wasn't it Killer Mike that won like the 2023 Grammy or something like that? And then everyone clowned on him. Even like it's probably the same people that would have been criticizing him before. So I can like in the last tracks, I can kind of see that where like Killer Mike was like, who the fuck is this person? Utopia should have won or whatever the fuck, right? I can kind of see how that would work. I like that this verse is referencing it quite a bit. But the rest of it I don't know.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same.
And this part really helps with the motif. And it even makes this track a lot more better where it's like we keep getting hit back to like you're misusing your influence. I really want to see how this ends. It's so tantalizing to me. How does this motif end? What is the response to it? How does it unfold?
Abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers. Until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city.
And he brought it back. Just actually perfect. I was listening to that, like, you could hear what I was saying about it. Yeah. This is like him just full on taking that mission, like that accountability.
I was entering a new one. How much a dollar really costs? The question is detrimental, paralyzing my thoughts. Parasites in my stomach keep me with a gut feeling, y'all. Gotta see how I'm chilling once I park this luxury car. Hopping out feeling big as Mutombo. 20 on pump 6, Tony Marcellus called me Dumbo. 20 years ago, can't forget. Now I can lend him my ear too. How to stack these residuals tenfold. The liberal concept that men do. 20 on 6, he didn't hear me. Indigenous African, only spoke Zulu. My American tongue was lyric. Walked out the gas station, a homeless man with a steady tan complexion. Asked me for 10 rand, stressing about dry land. Deep water, powder blue skies that crack open. A piece of crack that he wanted. I knew he was smoking, he begged and pleaded. Asked me to feed him twice, I didn't believe it. Told him beat it. Contributed money just for his pipe, I couldn't see it. He said, my son, temptation is one thing that I've defeated. Listen to me, I want a single bill from you. Nothing less, nothing more. I told him I didn't have it, then closed my door. Tell me how much a dollar cost. He's staring at me in disbelief. My temper is building. He's staring at me. I grabbed my key. He's staring at me. I started the car, then I tried to leave. But something told me to keep it in park until I could see the reason why he was mad at a stranger. Like I was supposed to save him. Like I'm the reason he homeless and asking me for a favor. He's staring at me. His eyes follow me with no laser. He's staring at me. I noticed that his stare is contagious. Cause now I'm staring back at him, feeling some type of disrespect. If I could throw a bat at him, he'd be aiming at his neck. I never understood someone begging for goods. Asking for handouts, taking it if they could. And this particular person just had it down pat, staring at me for the longest until he finally asked, have you ever opened up Exodus 14? A humble man is all that we ever need. Tell me how much a dollar cost. Tripping and feeling resentment. I never met a transient that demanded attention. It got me frustrated, indecisive, and power tripping. Sour emotions got me looking at the universe different. I should distance myself, I should keep it relentless. My selfishness is what got me here, who the fuck I'm kidding? So I'ma tell you like I told the last bum. Crumbs and pennies, I need all of mine. And I recognize this type of panhandling all the time. I got better judgment, I know when niggas hustling. Keep in mind, when I was struggling, I did compromise. Now I comprehend, I smell grandpa's soul medicine reeking from your skin. Moonshine and gin, nigga you're babbling. Your words ain't flattering, I'm imagining Denzel. But looking at old Neil, cause I'm in sad thrills. Your gimmick is mediocre, the jig is up. I seen you from a mile away losing focus. And I'm insensitive, and I lack empathy. He looked at me and said, your potential is bittersweet. I looked at him and said, every nickel is mine to keep. He looked at me and said, know the truth, it'll set you free. You're looking at the Messiah, the Son of Jehovah, the higher power, the choir that spoke the word, the Holy Spirit, the nerve of Nazareth. And I tell you just how much a dollar cost. The price of having a spot in heaven, embrace your loss, I am God.
I washed my hands, I said my grace. What more do you want from me? Tears of a cloud, guess I'm not all what it's meant to be. Shades of gray will never change if I condone. Turn this page, help.
I really appreciate the showing the uglier sides of a personality thing. It kind of reminds me of Ready to Die, but in a lot less of a way. Where like in Ready to Die, like it was explicit some of the shit that he was just doing that was fucked, and then at the end of it, the story, whatever, if you listen to it, and it reminds me of this, where it's like, as much as like when he's telling me about these things, I'm kind of like being, I don't know, a bit messy myself by judging it, being like, listening to this, being like, fuck, you sound awful. But in the same way, that level, like the level of negative energy that I feel is almost like twice as larger in respect for bearing this aspect of you so openly and taking accountability for it, if that makes sense. It's, yeah, I really fuck with the messages throughout Kendrick's music so much of like not hiding away from your faults and dealing with them head first in like publicly taking like accountability sort of thing when you don't even need to. Like it's not like a part of you, it's not like you should publicly take accountability for all of these like relatively minor transgressions that speak to a deeper ill, I guess, but like you don't have to publicly do that, but doing that and then showcasing it as like a example of a way to move forward is really positive, and I fuck with it heavy.
Change to right my wrong.
I'm with this.
Complexion.
Two steps.
Complexion don't mean a thing.
It's a solo live.
Ooh, complexion.
Two steps.
It all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Give a fuck about your complexion, I know what the German's done. Sneak me through the back window, I'm a good field nigga. I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if Massa listening. Cover your ears, he bout to mention
complexion.
Two steps.
Complexion don't mean a thing.
It's a solo live.
It all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
Dark is the midnight hour, her bright is the morning sun. Brown skinned but your blue eyes tell me your mama can't run. Sneak me through the back window, I'm a good field nigga. I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. You know I go the distance, you know I'm 10 toes down even if Massa listening. I got the world attention, so I'ma say something that's vital and critical for survival of mankind. The feline color should never rival. Beauty is what you make it. I used to be so mistaken by different shades and faces. Then Wit told me a woman is woman, love the creation. It all came from God, then you was my confirmation. I came to where you reside and looked around and seen more sights for sore eyes. Let the Willie Lynch theory reverse a million times with
complexion.
Alright, I could be fucking this up, and also considering the subject matter, if I do fuck up, sorry, because it can touch on bad waters. But my understanding of this song so far is him talking about how he used to focus a bit too much on complexion, that sort of thing, where it's like, oh, you don't necessarily have the black experience that I do, because I can see that, like, let's say even though you have black skin or whatever, you have blue eyes, your mother can't run, that sort of thing, where it showcases like you're a biracial person that doesn't necessarily have the full version of a black experience, so judging you differently, and then like God basically beaming down on you, being like, a woman is a woman, love is a creation, and that's and kind of unraveling that sort of bias that he had. That's my understanding so far.
Complexion don't mean a thing.
It's a solo live.
Ooh, complexion.
Two steps.
It all feels the same.
It's a solo live.
Tupac. Keep your head up, when did you stop? Love and die. Color of your skin, color of your eyes. That's the real blues, baby, like you met Jay's, baby. You blew me away. You think more beauty in blue, green, and gray. On my Solomon up north, 12 years a slave, 12 years of age, thinking my shade too dark. I love myself, I no longer need Cupid. Enforcing my dark side like a young George Lucas. Light don't mean you smart, being dark don't make you stupid. A frame of mind for them busters, ain't talking woo-ha. Need a paradox for the paradox, they tutored. Like two tides, LL, you lose 2 times. If you don't see you're beautiful in your complexion, it ain't complex. To put it in context, find the air beneath the kite, that's a context. Yeah, baby, I'm conscious. Ain't no contest. If you like it, I love it. All your earth tones been blessed. Ain't no stress, jigaboos wanna be. I ain't talking J, I ain't talking B. I'm talking days we got school, watching movie screens. That spike your self-esteem, the new James Bond gonna be black as me. Black as brown, hazelnut, cinnamon, black tea. And it's all beautiful to me. Call your brothers magnificent, call all the sisters queens. We all on the same team, blues and pyrus, no colors ain't a thing.
I fuck with this so much. Obviously I am complete outsider, so take any of what I say with a grain of salt if you disagree or whatever. But I find that a track like this is so important, considering that there is so much colorism within society, even because like most of the time I feel like if you are white, your understanding of racism is very binary, where it's like white, black, or just like skin color. So like you think even like racism towards white people is the exact same as racism towards black people, that sort of thing. And oftentimes I feel like it is overlooked, the level of colorism that is even in let's say the black community. And how I think it's important to have songs like this that talk about that and overcoming that sort of thing. Because if we still look at it now, right, like there's been like 3 black women that have won Album of the Year in like 30 years, right? One of them being Beyonce recently. Like one of them being a blonde woman recently. I think it's was the Album of the Year Alligator Bites? No, that was the rap album. And then I think before that the only person was Lauryn Hill, right? Lauryn Hill was dark, very quite dark, and that was very important. And then you have Doechii, who is quite dark. But apart from that, like in media, plaudits, that sort of thing, you see a lot of colorism within black people being depicted on screen, where like they're a lot more light skinned. They're going to look like a Beyonce. They're going to that, yeah. And I think it is a part that we as society should work towards mitigating, because even though we often look at it as the binary of black versus white, there is a lot of biracial issues. There is a lot of colorism that is at play that still needs to be overcome. And I feel like it gets swept under the rug even more so than like your like broader racial injustices. And I have not the answers. I'm not part of the community, that sort of thing. So like I don't necessarily have the answers, but it's a very important topic that I feel like I really appreciate the light being shown on it in this track, because it is there. And I could also see, I think they're wrong. I could also see why. Maybe someone would listen to Complexion by Kendrick Lamar and be like, oh, what about those lines in Euphoria about Drake being biracial, that sort of thing. I think it's a lot different because race, due to race being a social construct, there is a lot of social aspects that come alongside that. It doesn't necessarily matter what like shade of skin you are. It matters like the experiences that you face according to those shades of skin, because no one really actually cares about the black skin themselves. They care about like what it symbolizes with the experiences that you've dealt with. So if I'm white, I have a white experience. If I'm black or biracial, I have that sort of experience. And I don't think having a song like Complexion talking about how like I don't care about the shades that you are, more so caring about like the substance behind it, the experiences that you dealt with, that sort of thing. I don't think that is antithetical to something like Drake, because Drake obviously has experienced some racism, because no matter what, if you even the tiniest bit darker than a like pale white, you're going to experience racism. Like I am white through and through, Hungarian, but because I was the blackest kid at my school, because I got tanned more than the other kids, I have no black in me. I got called Blasians and stuff like that, which doesn't really affect me because I'm like, that, yeah, it just doesn't affect me because I'm not black or Asian, so it doesn't affect me. But like, even that sort of thing, like, if we're extrapolating, that would mean that someone like Drake obviously has dealt with a lot of that, and considering that he has some biracial tenants, like he's biracial, so he has some connection to that community. He does experience racism, but it feels a bit different, the flavors, because he doesn't have as much, or he's not tied that as much to the community, and he has a lot of cultural tendencies. And I think those two, like this song and criticizing that, isn't inherently hypocritical, even though I think it would be at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. I know, especially at the time, people bring up like, oh, he's doing like a biracial sort of stuff. But I think that you can have both, because if you've listened to my Good Kid, Mad City reaction, I think there is a specific experience that like Drake doesn't have, and the way that he goes about his actions showcases a complete disregard of the aspects of the black experience that he does not have, if that makes sense. Again, I'm not an expert on this. This is just me being open-minded and trying to listen to it. If I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. Like, I'm not the messiah on this or anything.
Barefoot babies with no care. Teenage gun told us that don't play fair. Should I get out the car? I don't see Compton, I see something much worse. The land of the landmines, the hell that's on earth.
Where's the power? Down to our knees. Pray to the God. We don't believe.
What the fuck? This is way harder and way more experimental and shit like that than anything even off Yeezus. I did not expect this whatsoever. I need to listen to something like Death Grips I haven't listened to it. I need to listen to something like Death Grips to get this. Like, this is even like stranger than even some of the weirdest remixes from Aphex Twin stuff. This is insane production. What the fuck?
6 in the morning.
Hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. Been feeling this way since I was 16. Came to my senses. You never liked this anyway. Fuck your friendship, I meant it. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a small village. Part of my residence. Came from the bottom of mankind. My hair is nappy. My dick is big. My nose is round and wide. You hate me, don't you? You hate my people. Your plan is to terminate my culture. You're fucking evil. I want you to recognize that I'm a proud monkey. You vandalize my perception, but can't take down from it. And this is more than confession. I mean, I might press the button just so you know my discretion. I'm caught in my feelings. I know that you feel it. You sabotage my community, making a killing. You made me a killer. Emancipation of a real nigga.
I love how unflinching this fucking verse is. It reminds me of the very, like, it's not the same necessarily the same thing, but the level of unflinching, sort of not holding anyone's hand, ways of expressing this reminds me of like the reason that like Nina Simone was blackballed in like 1960 during the civil rights era, right? Like, this is, and I really fuck with that because I feel like the level of tone policing that goes on when it comes to marginalized communities, radical politics, that sort of thing, is so fucking cringe. And it, yeah, I love seeing just unadulterated, like uncompromising expression of these thoughts and stuff. Like, fuck.
I said them treat me like a slave, can be black. Boy, me feel one heap of pain, can be black. I'm an I said them put me in a chain, can be
biggest hypocrite in 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. I mean, it's evident that I'm irrelevant to society. That's what you're telling me. Penitentiary would only hire me. Curse me till I'm dead. Church me with your fake prophesizing that I'ma be just another slave in my head. Institutionalized, manipulation and lies. Reciprocation of freedom only live in your eyes. You hate me, don't you? I know you hate me just as much as you hate yourself. Jealous of my wisdom and cards I dealt. Watching me as I pull up, fill up my tank, then pill out. Muscle cars like pull-ups, show you what these big wheels bout. Black and successful, this black man meant to be special. Cat scans on my radar, bitch, how can I help you? How can I tell you I'm making a killing? You made me a killer, emancipation of a real nigga.
The sweeter riches, the blacker the belly, the sweeter riches, the blacker the belly, the sweeter riches, the blacker the belly, the bigger.
I saw them treat me like a slave, can be black. Oh, if you feel one heap of pain, can be black. I'm an I said them put me in a chain, can be black. How much you now? Me gold chain full of rocks. And you know see the whip, left scar from me back. But now we have a big whip back from the black. Oh, them a see we doom from the start, can be black. But remember this, every race start from the block. Just remember that.
I'm the biggest hypocrite in 2015. When I finish this, if you listen, then sure you will agree. This plot is bigger than me. It's generational hatred. It's cynicism. It's grimy little justification. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the heart of a fucking Aryan. I'm black as the name of Tyrone and Darius. Excuse my French, but fuck you, no fuck y'all. That's as blunt as it gets. I know you hate me, don't you? You hate my people. I can tell cause it's threats when I see you. I can tell cause your waist is deceitful. No, I can tell because you in love with that desert eagle. Thinking maliciously, he get a chain, then you gon' bleed him. It's funny how Zulu and Xhosa might go to war. Two tribal armies that wanna build and destroy. Remind me of these Compton Crip gangs that live next door. Beefing with power rules, only death settle the score. So no matter how much I say I like to preach with the Panthers, or tell Georgia State Marcus Garvey got all the answers, or try to celebrate February like it's my B-Day, or eat watermelon chicken and Kool-Aid on weekdays, or jump high enough to get Michael Jordan endorsements, or watch BET cause urban support is important. So why did I weep when Trayvon Martin was in the street? When gang banging make me kill a nigga blacker than me? Hypocrite.
Again, it feels so vain to say best tracks on stuff that has such important societal aspects to it. But I would say that this track and You are the top two. I don't know which one I actually prefer more. I think I might like this one more. It's hard to say. But all of the tracks have been fucking perfect though. Like all of them have been perfect. I'm just trying to think of my favorite because like the floor is the highest it could possibly be. It's just the perfect fucking flawless fucking album. So this, I think, is my favorite track off of it, apart from maybe You. Yeah, fuck.
Steady long, steady wrong, nigga. Hey, y'all close that front door. Y'all let flies in this motherfucker. Close that door. My OG up in this motherfucker right now. My pops in with the bottle in his acting a fool. Hey, baby, check it out. I'ma tell you what my mama had said. She like,
I can spot you a mile away. I can see your insecurities written all on your face. So predictable your words. I know what you're gonna say. Who you fooling or you assuming you could just come and hang with the homies, but your level of realness ain't the same. Circus acts only attract those that entertain. Small talk, we know that it's all talk. We live in the laugh factory every time they mention your name. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. Ask where the plug at to impress me. Ask where the jug at to impress me. Ask where it's at only upsets me. You sound like the feds on me. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga.
You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. And the world don't respect you and the culture don't accept you, but you think it's all love. And the girls gon' neglect you once your parody is done. Reputation can't protect you if you never had one. Jealousy, complex, emotional, complex, self-pity, complex, under oath, complex.
The loudest one in the room, nigga, that's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. Ask where the hoes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me. Say you got the burner stash to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. Ask where the plug at to impress me. Ask where the jug at to impress me. Ask where it's at only upsets me. You sound like the feds on me. What do you got to offer? Tell me before we off here. Put you deep in that coffin. Been allergic to talking. Been aversion to bullshit and sell a dream in the auction. Tell me just who your boss is. Niggas be fugazi. Bitches be fugazi. This is for fugazi. Niggas and bitches who make habitual line babies. Bless them little hearts. You can never persuade me. You can never relate me to him, to her, or that, or them, or you. The truth. You love to bend in the back, in the bed, on the floor. That's your hoe. On the couch, in the mouth. I'll be out. Really don't. See loud rich niggas got low money, and loud broke niggas got no money. The irony behind it is so funny, and I seen it all this past year. Pass on some advice we feel.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard.
I find it interesting, like the whole recognition that he's getting, right? It's interesting because he went into his vices. He was looking for all of this recognition, that sort of thing, and then later in the album, he then goes, "I don't need the recognition. I just need to help the people." And then it kind of flavors this a bit differently, where like if this track, obviously this is such a continual story, it would be weird to just mismatch it. But if you played this track right after All Right, this would have such a different fucking feeling to it. It would just feel like he's getting high on the ecstasy of everything around him. But now with the last tracks of him taking accountability and like being self-aware and looking within, this kind of plays it a bit differently. It's kind of a bit uncomfortable because he's like, I don't need the recognition, and it makes it a lot more multifaceted and multi-layered. I really fuck with it.
One, two, what's happening, boy? I done been through a whole lot. Tried tribulation, but I know God. The devil wanna put me in a bow tie. Played at the holy water, don't go try, yeah. As I look around me, so many motherfuckers wanna down me. But enemy gon' never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me. And I love my, I want you looking at me. Tell me, what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I love myself. Illuminated by the hand of God, boy, don't seem shy. I love myself. One day at a time. They wanna say it's a war outside, bomb in the street, gun in the hood, mob of police, rock on the corner with a line full of fiend and a bottle full of lean and a mother wanna scheme. These days are for frustration. Keep come to the front. Yeah, I duck these cold faces. Post up, feet, fight for bases. Dreams are reality's piece. Blow steam in the face of the beast. Sky can fall down, wind can cry down. Look at me, motherfucker, I smile. I love my. And when you're looking at
Fuck me, this might be his best rapping performance.
tell me, what do you see? I love myself. I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police. I love myself. Illuminated. All y'all come to the front. Y'all come up to the front. Baby girl, you, come on.
Crazy. What you gonna do?
Lift up your head and keep moving. Turn the mic up. It's the fashion police, I wear my heart on my sleeve, let the runway start. You know the miserable do love company. What do you want from me and my skies? Everybody lack confident, everybody lack confident. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this nigga,
I love myself.
And when you're looking at me, tell me, what do you see?
I love myself.
I put a bullet in the back of the head of the police.
I love myself.
Illuminated by the hand of God, boy, don't seem shy.
I love myself.
I went to war last night with a automatic weapon. Don't nobody call a medic. I'ma do it till I get it right. I went to war last night. I've been dealing with depression ever since an adolescent. I can never hear the blessing. I can never see the message. I can never take the lead. I can never bubble weed from a negative and letting them annihilate me. And it's 7 and I'm moving at a million speed. Finna run into a building in my body. Killing music, not on my time. We can say that shit for the streets. We can say that shit just for the kids, bro. 2015, niggas tired of playing victim, dog. Niggas ain't trying to play victim. Tutu, how many niggas we done lost? How many? Yeah, how many we lost? No, for real, answer the question. How many niggas we done lost, bro? This year alone. Exactly, so we ain't got time to waste time, my nigga. Niggas gotta make time, bro. The judge make time. You know that, the judge make time, right? The judge make time, so it ain't shit. It shouldn't be shit for us to come out here and appreciate the little bit of life we got left, dog. On the dead homies, Charlie P, you know that, bro. You know that. Right, it's Mando. Right, it's Mando. Now, and I say this because I love niggas, man. I love all my niggas, bro. Exactly. Enough said. Enough said. We gonna get back to the show and move on, cause that shit petty, my nigga. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. We gonna do some acapella shit before we get back to all my niggas. Listen to this. I promised Dave I never used the phrase fuck nigga. He said, think about what you saying. Fuck niggas. No better than Samuel on the Django. No better than a white man with slave boats. Sound like I needed some soul searching. My pops gave me some game in real person. Retraced my steps on what they never taught me. Did my homework fast before government caught me. So I'ma dedicate this one verse to Oprah on how the infamous sensitive N-word control us. So many artists gave her an explanation to hold us. Well, this is my explanation, straight from Ethiopia. N-E-G-U-S. Definition, royalty. King royalty. Wait, listen. N-E-G-U-S. Description, black emperor, king ruler. Now let me finish. The history books overlooked the word and hide it. America tried to make it to a house divided. The homies don't recognize we been using it wrong. So I'ma break it down and put my game in a song. N-E-G-U-S. Say it with me, or say no more. Black stars can come and get me. Take it from Oprah Winfrey. Tell her she right on time. Kendrick Lamar, by far, realest niggas alive. ghost of Mandela. Hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon. You consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that being said, my nigga, let me ask this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Do you believe in me? Are you deceiving me? Could I let you down easily? Is your heart where it need to be? Is your smile on permanent? Is your foul on lifetime? Would you know where the sermon is? If I died in this next line, if I'm tried in a court of law, if the industry cut me off, if the government want me dead, plant cocaine in my car, would you judge me a drug head or see me as K. Lamar? Or question my character and degrade me on every blog? Want you to love me like Nelson? Want you to hug me like Nelson? I freed you from being a slave in your mind. You're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song, it's surely a blessing. But a prophet ain't a prophet till he asks you this question. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Won't you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And with that, do you believe in me? How much you...
I'm sorry for pausing 2 minutes into this track to talk about the last track, but on the N-word thing, needless to say, you probably don't need another white guy's opinion on it, but with it, I find it very interesting because I didn't know the aspect of the etymology of the word from Ethiopia, and it makes it a whole lot more interesting. I already thought that it's valid for to reclaim the word. Even if it was just like a negative word, I could see, I can understand just wanting to reclaim it, so that's why you use it or whatever. I know there's a portion of people that just believe that you shouldn't use it in black communities and white communities. But then knowing the etymology of the word, and then obviously how it was used, it was clearly a use of the term to flip it to culturally genocide that word from the language that would mean black emperor, you know, and royalty. And that being the flip of it, it kind of feels weird to be like, oh, we shouldn't want to use that word. Like black people shouldn't even use that word, which I know is like a common prevailing sentiment even, amongst like older generations of white people as well and black people. And it feels weird because it's kind of like ceding that ground. It's like, oh yeah, they used that word, they ruined like the etymology of that word, they use that against us to culturally like use it like it's like a remnant of a cultural genocide of it, right? And it feels weird to be like, oh, we just cede that to them. It's like, no, reclaim that word. And that makes so much more sense to me now with I already was on that side, but like it makes it even stronger that it feels weird to even police that word again, because the history of it, to if it like coming from Ethiopia, meaning black royalty, to have slave owners that transported them, genocided them, and then used that word against them, and then 100 years later, 150 years later, 200 years later, to police the same black people that lineages of those slaves on their use of that word again, being like, no, it's actually offensive to the people that we genocided and used that term against. It's so weird because I'm assuming that if you go back to that time, right, there would be probably a massive portion of those people that didn't have a problem with the word. They had a problem with the fucking people genociding them, using it against them. Like, yeah. It makes it so, it's like, yeah, it's such a twisted way of looking at that, where it's like you have to police that. I understand, obviously there's a lot of negative history with that, but to police black people from using that word, just feels like a 180 flipping it, sort of gaslighting of like, oh no, it's, I don't know, it feels so weird. Yeah.
Believe in her. You think she gon' stick around if them 25 years occur? You think he gon' hold you down when you down beyond bars hurt? You think y'all on common ground if you promise to be there first? Can you be immortalized without your life being expired? Even though y'all share the same blood, is it worth the time? Like who got your best interest? Like how much are you dependent? How clutch are the people that say they love you and who pretended? How tough is your skin when they turn you in? Do you show forgiveness? What brush do you bend with dust in your shoulders from being offended? What kind of den did they put you in when the lions start hissing? What kind of bridge did they burn revenge on your mind when it's mentioned? You wanna love like Nelson, you wanna be like Nelson, you wanna walk in his shoes, but your peacemaking seldom. You wanna be remembered and deliver the message that considered the blessing of everyone. This your lesson for everyone. Say when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? Once you look to your left and right, make sure you ask your friends. When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The voice of Mandela, hope this flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume every message. As I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you riding with me, nigga, I've been wrote off before. I got abandonment issues. I hold grudges like bad judges. Don't let me resent you. That's not Nelson like. Want you to love me like Nelson. I went to Robbins Island analyzing. That's where his cell is, so I can find clarity. Like how much you cherish me. Is this relationship a fake or real as the heavens be? See, I gotta question it all. Family, friends, fans, cats, dogs, trees, plants, grass. How the wind blow. Murphy's Law, Generation X. Will I ever be your ex? Flaws of a baby step. Marred by the mouth a bit. Pause, put me under stress. Crawled under rocks, ducking y'all. It's respect, but then tomorrow, put my back against the wall. How many leaders you said you needed, then left them for dead? Is it Moses? Is it Huey Newton or Detroit Red? Is it Martin Luther, JFK shooter, you assassin? Is it Jackie? Is it Jesse? Oh, I know it's Michael Jackson. Oh, when shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? That nigga gave us Billie Jean. You say he touched those kids? When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan? The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let my word be your earth and moon, you consume.
I must admit, I might have missed some stuff, but I find this interesting. I'm assuming Model Man is like a lot of these figures that ended up uplifting the black community have a lot of things that you can criticize for. And that also incorporates probably some of Kendrick Lamar's faults. And I find it interesting. It's like, I find it interesting to touch on that, where it's like, are you still a fan even if these people are very flawed individuals? And I understand that. I think in Mr. Morale, he talks about a lot more that like we need a lot of rehabilitation for these people. They can be really bad, to the point where that he put Kodak Black on the song, on one of his songs, and Kodak Black like sexually assaulted some young girls, and like, which bold statement. I'll need to wait until I get to it to fully dissect it, because I haven't listened to it. But I find it interesting where it's like, when she hit the fan, are you still a fan? It kind of gives the illusion that like, no, you shouldn't turn your back on these people, even if they've done horrible things, which I agree on a rehabilitative lens, but it does shade some of it where it's just like, with Michael Jackson, it's like, you say he touched those kids. It's like, to my knowledge, this feels weird. I don't like discrediting any people. I pretty much 100% believe James Safechuck. And then even if we, it doesn't fucking matter. All of the people who are accused, it doesn't matter what we talk about. We could just talk about the stuff that he admitted to. He shouldn't be sleeping in the beds with fucking young boys, and then saying he loves them, and then doing mock proposals and marriages with these kids. You just shouldn't do that. You're a fucking stranger. You're an adult man. You shouldn't be doing that. Even the stuff that he admits that is just love and they're just him, you shouldn't be doing that. So even if all of the allegations are untrue, there's stuff that he does in front of the media and in front of everything you shouldn't be doing. And that's just weird by itself. So it feel like, and this kind of feels like it hand waves some of that, some of those things. And I understand that even the most awful actions should be forgiven, but it doesn't feel like he's coming at from that lens. It's, I don't know.
Every message as I lead this army, make room for mistakes and depression. And if you ride with me, nigga, let me ask this question, nigga. I remember you was conflicted. misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one. A war that was based on apartheid and discrimination. Made me want to go back to the city and tell the homies what I learned. The word was respect. Just because you wore a different gang color than mine's doesn't mean I can't respect you as a black man. Forgetting all the pain and hurt we caused each other in these streets. If I respect you, we unify and stop the enemy from killing us. But I don't know. I'm no mortal man. Maybe I'm just another nigga. Shit, and that's all I wrote. I was gonna call it another nigga, but it ain't really a poem. I just felt like it's something you probably could relate to. Other than that, now that I finally got a chance to holler at you, I always want to ask you about a certain situation, about a metaphor actually. You spoke on the ground. What you mean by that? What the ground represent?
The ground is gonna open up and swallow the evil.
Right.
That's how I see it. My word is born. I see, and the ground is the symbol for the poor people.
Right.
The poor people is gonna open up this whole world and swallow up the rich people. Because the rich people gonna be so fat and they're gonna be so appetizing. You know what I'm saying? Wealthy, appetizing. The poor gonna be so poor and hungry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I was touching on that before, where it's conflicted on it because I've with the stuff that was being said before, due to the fact that I am okay with the idea of rehabilitation, not judge as he said, opening it up for these figures to have faults, to go through bad periods, to have this sort of thing, and not just casting aside all of their accomplishments. And I feel like that is often that happens. And a pressing example of it now is currently like Kanye West, right? What he's doing is unconscionable, the level of shit that he was doing. But it doesn't change the fact that like his influence in itself led a more open environment for rap stars to be different. You could be more effeminate. You could even argue that like the way Kanye was and how he was a more sensitive black man led for, and was still very much at the forefront of hip hop, led yourself to be able to have a more open environment for gay rappers like Tyler the Creator or Lil Nas X, which he helped produce, and Tyler the Creator says Kanye is his biggest influence. Obviously, probably not now, but all of this sort of stuff, which a lot of it he has got turned back on, which is a massive issue. But there's still that influence, like back in like I think it's like 2003, 2004 interview where he was just like, we need to stop being homophobic in the community, that sort of shit. So that influence is still there. So I understand compartmentalizing. You can fucking hate all of the shit that he's doing currently, but you still need to show that he has done good, and not disregard that. In the same vein, it's like Michael Jackson has done a bunch of shit that's inappropriate, but it doesn't change what he's done. It doesn't. You need to separate that, compartmentalize those sort of things, and have a more nuanced view of it. And I can understand Kendrick being like, don't just cast me aside because of the faults I've done. Now his faults seem a lot less drastic, but I can definitely understand that. Don't just cast him aside. Yeah. I was conflicted, but I can kind of understand. Like, I understand it. The only show I was having is like, the way it was presented made it sound like it wasn't. You know how like he's so accountable. He takes so much accountability for his wrongs, and he does it through his art. It kind of felt like the wrongs of other figures, he wasn't giving them as much accountability that they should have done. Like he wasn't even giving them as much accountability that he would give himself. And I think that it is okay to press the accountability. Obviously, they're fucking dead now, but like oppress the accountability, but always leave the door open for redemption because everyone deserves it. And yeah, my issue was didn't seem like the accountability that was there. It was like more flippant. But with more of him talking about it, I can kind of see that that is probably not how he views it. Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, there might be some cannibalism out this month. They might eat the rich. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so let me ask you this then. Do you see yourself as somebody that's rich or somebody that made the best of their own opportunities?
I see myself as a natural born hustler, a true hustler in every sense of the word. I took nothing. I took the opportunities. I worked at the most menial and degrading job and built myself up so I can get it to where I owned it. I went from having somebody manage me to me hiring the person that works my management company. Right. I changed everything. I realized my destiny in a matter of 5 years, you know what I'm saying, and made myself a millionaire. Right. I made millions for a lot of people. Now it's time to make millions for myself, you know what I'm saying? I made millions for the record companies. I made millions for these movie companies. Now I make millions for us.
And through your different avenues of success, how would you say you managed to keep a level of sanity?
By my faith in God, by my faith in the game, and by my faith in all good things come to those that stay true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was happening to me for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I was noticing shit. I was punching the right buttons, and it was happening. So it's no problem. You know, I mean, it's a problem, but I'm not finna let them know. I'm finna go straight through.
Would you consider yourself a fighter at heart or somebody that only reacts when?
I find this is an interesting thing. Like, do you consider yourself rich because of how much money you have? It's really hard to say. I think there's like, if you're born rich, there's a bit of a difference, but I feel like we don't actually make that delineation that much. When it's like someone that ends up being rich, due to the lifelong work, no matter where their background is, we still view them as rich because they have the privileges of being rich, but they didn't have the privileges of being intergenerationally rich, which I find a bit weird because it's like, for my family, for example, I grew up with a disabled single mom. She actually fucking amazing parent, just an amazing parent. So like, I hope that she's okay with me saying this, but because I'm using it as a way to exemplify how fucking incredible she is, she dropped out of school in like grade 10, had to live by herself, working by herself at 15, got pregnant, and then was poor throughout like her entire life, and then had me and my brother, and I have been able to go to university. I'm nearly finishing my bachelor. I went to a private school in my final 3 years of high school, and there is like a good chance that I'm able to have like a middle class life, like, and that level of disparity between generations is insane. I didn't grow up with generational wealth. I was able to have the privilege of having such an amazing parent that was able to do it. And then if we go onto my grandmother's side, right, my dad was born relatively rich, but my grandma was a Hungarian immigrant that didn't speak a lick of the language, or couldn't read or write, and she still can't read or write. She can speak English though, but she came from a family of like 8 or 9 kids with an extremely violently abusive father, growing up during the Holocaust, and then when she was like 18, 19, saved up for a few years and then came to Australia and then was able to build a house that I think Micah inherited to me or something like that. That's worth like not part of it's inherited to me, probably not a lot of it, and I don't even really like it. Doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel like I deserve it, but that house is worth like multi-millions of dollars now, and it's like, what point does richness and wealthiness stem to this sort of thing? Because we can all imagine that it is a bit different that for someone like Elon Musk, who was born into wealth, to then amass a shit ton of wealth. That is a bit different. Where does the line live though? Is it my dad? I could argue yes. He grew up rich. He grew up in that house, and he ended up having a full family that was rich. But then there's me. I'm the next generation. I grew up very poor. Where does that lend me? I don't know where the lines are. And it is interesting, this perspective of like, I made the opportunities. I didn't have the generational wealth. I have the generational privilege of living white in a white society. But when it comes to, so that I'm wealthy in, but when it comes to material, I'm not wealthy, but my father is. I don't know. I didn't grow up, like my dad wasn't that present, so I don't know. It's an interesting perspective. It's something that I'll have to mull over myself. He made millions. When does it become? When do you become rich? I guess. It's a hard question to answer. It's so complicated depending on things. Because I would argue that I feel privileged, but I didn't come from a privileged background. I feel very privileged because of my mum. My mum didn't come from a rich background either. So I don't know. I don't know where it all stands. But I'm sorry for making a tangent. I just find this a very interesting part. It makes me reflect.
They back us against the wall.
Shit, I like to think that at every opportunity I've ever been threatened with resistance, it's been met with resistance. And not only me, but it goes down my family tree. You know what I'm saying? It's in my veins to fight back.
All right, well, how long you think it take before niggas be like, we fighting a war, I'm fighting a war I can't win, and I want to lay it all down?
In this country, a black man only have like 5 years we can exhibit maximum strength. And that's right now, while you a teenager, while you still strong, while you still want to lift weights, while you still want to shoot back. Because once you turn 30, it's like they take the heart and soul out of a man, out of a black man in this country. And you don't want to fight no more. And if you don't believe me, you can look around. You don't see no loudmouth 30-year-old motherfuckers.
That's crazy, because me being one of your offsprings of the legacy you left behind, I can truly tell you that it's nothing but turmoil going on. So I want to ask you, what you think is the future for me and my generation today?
I think that niggas is tired of grabbing shit out the stores, and next time it's a riot, it's gonna be like bloodshed, for real. I don't think America know that. I think America think we was just playing. It's gonna be some more playing, but it ain't gonna be no playing. It's gonna be murder. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like Nat Turner, 1831, up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen.
That's crazy, man. In my opinion, the only hope that we kind of have left is music and vibrations. A lot of people don't understand how important it is. Sometimes I can like get behind a mic and I don't know what type of energy I'm gonna push out or where it comes from. Trip me out sometimes.
Because it's spirits. We ain't even really rapping. We just letting our dead homies tell stories for us.
This is so interesting because like, and the next thing, so this was in 2015. So like the next one was like 2016. Black Lives Matter had in I wish I could remember the name, started with a B. But there was that, and there was obviously always protests, marches, organization. But then it all capsized, it all not capsized. That's forget I said that because that gives the wrong connotation. But it all boiled over when it came to George Floyd, and you had 2020, and it's like you had riots, you had that sort of thing, but overall peaceful, and it didn't really move the needle much. Like it made it more conscious in like my generation, I think, but it didn't really change too much. You had some minor police reforms here and there, but yeah, Derek Chauvin go to fucking jail, but that fucker might even get fucking pardoned or whatever by Trump. Like, and it didn't even change. Like, we had a tiny bit of reprieve, but not even like mass shakeups that need to be done. Yeah, a tiny bit of reprieve with the 2020 election, and then a fucking massive bounce back to straight fascism. So like, I don't know, there wasn't this massive boiling point, but maybe I don't know the future. Maybe there is a massive boiling point that he's like referring to that will happen in the future due to the bounce back to Trump stuff, like the blowback from that. It's kind of seems like at the moment how things have played out a decade on is Kendrick's perspective is the one that has been bearing out, where it's like Kendrick's now the number one on the face, and the music was the thing that changed people's perceptions. Like I don't know, maybe I'm a bit wrong, but this is the biggest like this thing in popular culture, and it was about, and everyone stood behind, apart from some fucking weirdos that stood behind Drake, everyone stood behind Kendrick, which was the Black experience. And the only thing that was able to do that, and bring that sort of cultural shift a bit was the music and the vibrations. So, I don't know. This is very interesting. I love this. I really love this. I could listen to this shit for like an hour. More.
I wanted to read one last thing to you. It's actually something a good friend had wrote, describing my world. It says, the caterpillar is a prisoner to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it in order to protect itself from this mad city. While consuming this environment, the caterpillar begins to notice ways to survive. One thing it notices is how much the world shuns him, but praises the butterfly. The butterfly represents the talent, the thoughtfulness, and the beauty within the caterpillar. But having a harsh outlook on life, the caterpillar sees the butterfly as weak and figures out a way to pimp it to his own benefits. Already surrounded by this mad city, the caterpillar goes to work on the cocoon, which institutionalizes him. He can no longer see past his own thoughts. He's trapped. While trapped inside these walls, certain ideas take root, such as going home and bringing back new concepts to this mad city. The result? Wings begin to emerge, breaking the cycle of feeling stagnant. Finally free, the butterfly sheds light on situations that the caterpillar never considered, ending the internal struggle. Although the butterfly and caterpillar are completely different, they are one and the same. What's your perspective on that? Pop. Everybody, everybody.
Went to straight. Yeah. Final Thoughts is hard because there's just so much dense substance throughout the entire album. But on a broader macro scale, it is just kind of fucking insane that I would say that so far my the two best albums I've ever heard, or at least rap albums I've ever heard, he is Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp Butterfly. To go back to back with best albums is no one's done that. Like I don't even think what came before like Abbey Road, White Album. People don't consider that the best album. What came before maybe you could say Dark Side of the Moon, Animals, maybe. Or The Wall. I don't know. You could maybe say, but like, no one's done this, and it's just kind of fucking crazy because like, storytelling wise, I've listened to Ready to Die, I've listened to Illmatic, I've listened to Chronic, I've listened to Zodiac Chambers. Now I've listened to quite a few classic rap albums, and I would say that Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp Butterfly are my top two. I've listened to all of Kanye's discography. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is quite good, but like, it just feels weird because My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy isn't. It just can't. It just feels like it can't be better. It's like these two albums are perfectly constructed. Perfectly constructed, just completely flawless records, and they have so much substance. Where like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, it feels like it's like a creative, unique fucking album and the tracks are so stunning, but like there's not the same level of depth to it. So, and depth for depth's sake isn't necessarily a thing that would make an album better. some of the reason why like J. Cole isn't super high rated for me. I haven't listened to 2014 yet, but like For Your Eyes Only. But like yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, they're just flawless fucking albums. And I love how this sounds a bit self-indulgent, but I love how much they make me think. Which is a bit corny, but who cares? I love how much they make me ponder, think, all that sort of stuff. Just fucking unreal. Yeah, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. I would say that like Mortal Man, The Black of the Berry, and You probably the best tracks off of this. How Much a Dollar Cost as well. But all of them are just stunning. It's like you can't take a song out of this. There's like, it's just so perfect front to back. I had the same feeling with Good Kid, Mad City. I literally don't know which one I would prefer. I would say that like maybe To Pimp a Butterfly is a better album, but I would say that maybe I prefer Good Kid, Mad City. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard. I probably listen to Good Kid, Mad City more for like the banger tracks than this one, but this one is probably a better album. It's really hard. It's like 1A, 1B. It's like these are just like 1A, 1B best albums. Yeah, thank you for watching. I love you all. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to listen to all this stuff for the first time. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Peace.